What's happening, everybody? Matt here, but you can call me Matub, and welcome to Hottest Take of the Week. Show where I look at dumb stuff on the internet and we talk about it. Last week, the Packers were favored by 10.5 points, and not only did I make my usual dancing bet, but I also bet my lunch money for the week that they would not cover. They covered, and now the Mac Fund has a $20 donation from yours truly, and, well, stay tuned to the end of the video. This week, Ryan Wood, it's like, actually, I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch this show, but if he did, Ryan Wood would know that I was going to go after him for tweeting like this again. Ryan Wood continues to make these definitive tweets that are completely knee-jerk. He doesn't let a situation develop and just makes end-all, be-all decisions. So this week, after an incompletion, Ryan Wood tweeted, "Jimmy Graham has made more athletic plays in his career than that one, and Aaron Rodgers has made better throws. In a word, oof." I was going to go after him for this, but then immediately someone responded, it was tipped by Edmonds. "Oh, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage? Tough to see, thanks." Maybe just wait 10 seconds before tweeting this definitive, oof. It just... And actually, I talked about this take already if you are a fan of Cheesehead TV's Packer Transplant podcast. I was a guest who suffered from studio mishaps. However, it was great fun talking to Corey and Aaron. Is always a pleasure. Please be sure to check them out. Link is in the description. Moving on to another one of our traveling takes. We have to do the TJ Watt tracker again this week. Because Kevin King missed another game. And TJ Watt played another game. So what did TJ Watt do this week? TJ Watt had 3 solo tackles and 1 assist with no sacks. He's kind of riding high off of that first week. And honestly, so if I said to you that a linebacker played a game where he got 3 sacks and 4 solo tackles, that's a pretty good game, isn't it? Well, you know who has 3 sacks and 4 solo tackles in one game? Kyler the Freak Fackrell! Kyler, a.k.a. Sackrell Fackrell, got 3 sacks against the Buffalo Bills, one of which he got by falling down. But still, 3 sacks on the spreadsheet. So, to everyone who keeps adding me, how did TJ Watt do this week versus how did Kevin King do this week? Well, TJ Watt didn't do shit, and Kyler Fackrell matched TJ Watt's production. So we could have spent a first-round pick on Kyler Fackrell. What do you think? This week, the Packers are going to be taking on the Lions. They are the 1.5-point favorite going into Ford Field. And the Packers' defense looks much better than it has in the past, and the Lions' defense looks much worse. They are something like the 32nd ranked run defense in the league, and Aaron Jones is averaging 6 yards a carry. This should be pretty good. But on the Lions breakdown yesterday, Eric Schlitt said that if you think the Lions defense is bad, the Packers just gave up 3 fewer yards per game than the Lions did. I hate when people use yards per game as a definitive defensive metric, because yards per game doesn't even come close to telling the story. So I'm going to complete the story for Eric. Yes, the Detroit Lions gave up 329.5 yards per game, while the Packers gave up 326.2 yards per game. However, the Lions did it on 231 defensive snaps, while the Packers did it on 245 defensive snaps. That means the Packers are giving up 5.3 yards per snap, and Detroit Lions are giving up 5.7. So, the Packers are a little bit more efficient with a little bit more defensive plays, if you go by yards. However, the Detroit Lions are giving up 28.5 points per game, while the Packers are giving up 20.8. That also doesn't include the fact that the Packers defense was robbed of a fourth quarter stop against the Vikings. And Kirk Cousins threw for 120 more yards than he did before what should have been a game-ending interception. So when you contextualize things, yards per game is not a very good metric. Points per game tells a little bit more of the story, but not exactly completely indicative. You've got to look at everything in context. You can't just cherry pick one stat and pull it away. That's how you get things like QB wins. And QB wins are not a stat. And finally, this week, the Packers will be without Randall Cobb. Devontae Adams is banged up. Jimmy Graham continues to have problems with his knee. Geronimo Allison has a concussion. Oh, man. So it's going to be like that 2016 game against the Atlanta Falcons where we had to basically do nothing but play rookies. Actually, Jeff Janis had a touchdown that game, so maybe we'll see a touchdown from Marquez Valdez-Scantling, my man in 83. So anytime something goes wrong with the Packers wide receivers, it seems like Jason Wilde comes out of nowhere. Jason Wilde. Well, okay. The Wilde and Tausch Twitter handle said this, but, I mean, this is pretty on brand for Jason, so we're just going to assume that he said it. Hey Raiders, what will it take to get Jordy Nelson back? Thanks. #Packers. Hey Jason, what will it get for you to shut up about keeping Jordy Nelson? Thanks. #Matub. Man, I'm really sick about talking about Jordy Nelson. Had to do basically an entire episode on him already. Jordy Nelson is doing okay. He's not doing great. Aaron Rodgers also said that the fourth down play to Marquez Valdez-Scantling that he didn't fight for the ball on a hook was something that him and Jordy completed, quote, in their sleep. So that's just adding fuel to the fire for the Jordy Nelson takes. Jordy would not fix this offense. We have to rely on the young guys to step up. Ted Thompson has a history of letting go of a player 1 year too early as opposed to 1 year too late. Once again, this all goes back. If everyone's complaining about Cobb not living up to his money, if Jordy was playing for the Packers and had 1 or 2 touchdowns so far with only one game over 100 yards, people would be calling for Jordy's head too. So, Packer fans, you're just never happy. Deal with it. Well, no definitive take this week, so nothing to rate. I am nervous about this game. I think the Lions are better than people are giving them credit for. They're kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. In 1 week they can beat the Patriots, and then the next they can do a same old Lions kind of loss to a pretty inept Cowboys team. I don't know what to expect. I think the 1.5 point line is pretty good. But you know what? I'm done betting against the spread. The Packers are 1-3 against the spread, and I lost my shirt the last time. So, without further ado, here is me paying up to my bet. As always, I'm Matt, but you can call me Matub, and go Pack Go.